Live from the Doug Crutchfield Fieldhouse at Fitchburg High School, FATV presents coverage of Fitchburg High School athletics. And tonight we conclude rivalry week with another battle of the rivalry on the hardwood as the Fitchburg High Red Raiders girls basketball team take on the Leominster Blue Devils. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Daniel Bolak. Happy to have you along with us here tonight. The Red Raiders coming into this game with a record of 4-1. Leominster also coming into this game with a record of 4-1. These two teams played Monday night. And what was an interesting contest, to say the least, looking at how these teams had gone on throughout the season, in the case that Fitchburg absolutely dominated from start to finish. A 19-2 first quarter for the Red Raiders led them to a 44-18 victory. And that's just a huge surprise of a scoreline there. Mia Cavins with 17, Tenila Council with 11, and Olivia Smith with 9 for the Red Raiders, all leading the charge. But it's just incredible that they were able to hold this Leominster team that came into that game with a record of 4-0 to 18 points. It's the lowest offensive output for the Blue Devils in years. And for the Blue Devils, they were 4-0. They swept Narragansett, they swept Gardner. But they learned on Monday night that Fitchburg is quite a different team than the Narragansett and Gardner teams that they faced over the previous 2 weeks.
Dan, can you let me know when we're up? Can you let me know when the broadcast comes up? We're already on. All right, I'm going to start with starting lineup set.
So this has the makings of what could be a very interesting contest. The Red Raiders will look to get the sweep over the Blue Devils here on Rivalry Week. We'll throw it down to public address announcer Craig Antossi with the starting lineups and the anthem right here on FATV.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to the Fitchburg High School and the Doug Crutchfield Fieldhouse for tonight's District 3 Pod 6 basketball matchup, featuring the visiting Blue Devils from Leominster High School and our own Fitchburg High School Red Raiders. On behalf of the Fitchburg Public Schools, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank FATV for their continued support of Fitchburg athletics by offering live coverage of all of our winter matchups, broadcasted live into the homes of our Red Raider community, both home and abroad. And now for tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the visiting Blue Devils from Leominster High. First up for Leominster High School, a freshman wearing number 25 this evening, Kira Forsberg. Next up, a freshman wearing number 44, Juliana Pompey. Wearing number 12 for Big Blue tonight, a sophomore, Kylie Cudahy. Now we have the first of 2 captains for the Blue Devils. Wearing number 4, a sophomore, Isabella Nivard. And last but not least for the Blue Devils, a junior captain wearing number 15, Ava McDonald. The Blue Devils are led tonight by head coach Rusty Frederick. And now for the starting lineups for our Red Raiders. Wearing number 25 for the Red Raiders, a sophomore, Jen Allen. Wearing number 4 in white, a sophomore, Tenila Council. Wearing number 35 for the Red and Gray, a junior, Nevaeh Graham. Wearing number 11 for the Red Raiders, a junior, Olivia Smith. And last but not least, wearing the double 3s for the Red and Gray, a senior, Mia Cavins. The Red Raiders are led tonight by head coach Paul DiGeronimo. It's now at this time that I would ask everyone in attendance to please stand, face the far wall and the flag mounted in the Crutchfield Fieldhouse as we honor America with playing of our national anthem. Tonight's game officials are Kevin Johnston, Derek Lewis, and Luis Torres. Once again, on behalf of FPS, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, FATV. Enjoy the game.
And we're now moments from the start of this game here between the Fitchburg High Red Raiders and the Leominster High Blue Devils. Daniel Bolak here with you, along with our wonderful crew here at FATV. Our crew tonight, Travis Falk and Nate Glennie in the control room, Frank Gallo and Matt Murdoka on the cameras. We're all happy to have you along with us for tonight's coverage. So just looking at the leading scorers for these two teams, for the Red Raiders, Tenila Council come into this game averaging 11.8 points per game. She leads the team. Mia Cavins averaging 9 points a game is second on the squad, and Olivia Smith at 6 points a game is third. For Leominster High, they only returned 3 players from last year's roster. They have a very young roster. And Isabella Navard was the only player from last year's roster who was in the top 5 in scoring. She was averaging 6.4 a game last year, in the early going 5.4 a game. In fact, the top 5 scorers for Leominster all averaging between 5 and 7 points a game, with Sabina Marwa leading that charge with 6.6 points a game. Then Kyra Forsberg at 6.2, and as we mentioned, Nivard at 5.4. Blue Devils won the coin toss, and they'll start with the ball here in this contest, going right to left in the dark blue uniforms with white numbers and trim. Skip pass to the near side for Nivard, thrown inside, and too many steps there with the pressure there. Trying to pick that up on the left side of the paint was Ava McDonald. She's called for the travel. First possession for the Blue Devils ends in a turnover. Now Council onto the right wing for Smith. In the paint, Nevaeh Graham tries to throw that up. That was partially contested. Don't think she had a clean shot there. And that was McDonald with the pressure there for the Blue Devils. Blue Devils working with it on the far side. Long jumper from the right side baseline is good. That goes for Juliana Pompey. First points of the game go to the Blue Devils. And they have a 2-0 lead. They did not lead in the game on Monday against this Red Raider squad at the gym at Leominster High School. In fact, they didn't get their first basket until 6.5 minutes into the contest. As Council leaves it off for Smith, thrown inside for Graham. Gets through 2 defenders, throws it up, but a bit off on the glass, left of the square. And Leominster will take in the rebound. That pass hits the official. That stays in play. And a foul in transition. Olivia Smith is fouled by the Blue Devils. That's our first foul of the contest. That will go against Isabella Nivard. It's interesting that pass backwards ended up going right to the official, as if he was the intended recipient of that pass. It was the only reason that ball didn't go into the backcourt for an over and back. Pressure on the shot there, and contact made will lead to free throws for the Red Raiders. Olivia Smith will now go to the line, the junior. 2 shots from the charity stripe, 4 free throws made this season. First one front rimmed. That first free throw, since no offensive rebound opportunity is available, no one allowed on the key. That's one of those COVID changes. Second free throw is good for Smith. That's the first point of the game for the Red Raiders, 2-1 the score. Haven't posted that last foul on the board for whatever reason, so no idea who it was on. Probably get that straightened out down the road. Pass goes to the near side for Forsberg. She likes shooting threes. Pass for McDonald leads to a tie-up, and the Red Raiders will have the ball on the arrow. 6:14 to go in the first quarter, 2-1 to the Blue Devils. And the Red Raiders bring it up court. The Blue Devils preferring to get right back on defense, as Council pressured at the free throw line, and she is fouled. And that last foul, as we mentioned, I told you that would come through eventually. It was Nevard's second, and that last foul on Kylie Cudahy. So here's Council in the paint, stops, throws it up, can't get that to fall. Rebound taken in by the Blue Devils. They're going to try to move in transition. And Nevard is fouled, trying to go to the rack, and she'll get free throws. And they'll ring up Olivia Smith for that one. We'll see how Leominster does from the charity stripe. First free throw, high arcing and in. For the sophomore captain, Isabella Nevard. Very unusual to see a sophomore captain, but then again, this team very young for Leominster. 3 juniors, 2 sophomores, and 5 freshmen make up the 10-player roster. Second free throw is long. Wrestled for, leads to a tie-up. Leominster will keep the ball. 5:49 to go, 3-1. That's in the first quarter. The night is young here at the Crutchfield Fieldhouse. 3 ball from the left side is short. And will be picked right up by Jen Allen for the Red Raiders. Council bringing it up court, wearing that silver number 4. Bounce pass to the right side, Graham. Stops, takes the jumper, can't get that to go. Leominster bringing it up now from Pompey. Pass nearly picked there by Council. Nevard goes back into the backcourt to retrieve with the tip, no over and back. Now Pompey couldn't get a clean shot up. Nevaeh Graham there just holding her ground and shutting that down. Here's Olivia Smith, steps back, takes the 3. That rattles home. Three ball good there to make it 4-3. McDonald trying to make her way to the paint, throws it up, bit wild, can't get it to go, but they battle for the rebound and Pompey comes down with it. Here's another one, that goes. And a whistle with 4:32 to go in the first. And a technical foul just got assessed down on the court for whatever reason. Bit of a gift for the Red Raiders. We'll get 2 free throws. First one doesn't go for Mia Cavins, though. And the second one, that one will go. Make it 6-5. Wonder what exactly did happen there. The officials talking with Rusty Frederick, the head coach of the Blue Devils, about whatever happened down there that led to that technical. You don't see that too often. But now we're going to get back to basketball here, with the score at 6-5. There's Allen, a give and go, back to the left side. Trying to cut inside, throwing it up, getting that to fall. That was Smith again. Had a great run for the Red Raiders to start this contest, 7-6. The red and gray in front, and they come up with the turnover there. It's Mia Cavins with the steal. We reach the halfway point of this first quarter of play. Council. On the left side, Cavins trying to get into the paint. Nevard playing strong defense. Goes to the right side, and Council. Step taken before the dribble. That's going to be a travel. They'll have a substitution. Well, that's the first one of the game. Kyra Forsberg coming out. I believe Shannon Smith coming in. That'll be followed with a timeout. 3:42 to go in the first quarter of play. It's Fitchburg 7 and Leominster 6. Looking how these two teams have done thus far this season. Fitchburg coming in with that 4-1 record. They swept Oakmont 51-44. They won here at the Fieldhouse. Then 38-19 in Ashburnham. The following week, they were able to take down Quabbin, the only team in this pod who made the playoffs last year, 57-45, but lost the return trip in Barrie, 43-33. And then on Monday night, that dominating win over Leominster, 44-18. The Red Raiders doing so well in that contest, they scored all the points they would need to win the game in the first quarter alone. 19-2, they outscored Leominster in the first quarter. Held the Blue Devils to 18 points. Going back to last season, it was the 4th time in the last 7 games that the Red Raiders held a team to less than 24 points. Very unlikely statistic to see in basketball, but that's how dominating the Red Raider defense has been at times. And for Leominster, I went back 3 years, because that's as far back as my most readily available archives go, to find the last time the Blue Devils were held to less than 20 points. I couldn't find any result in the last 3 years in which they were held to less than 20 points. Tie-up will favor the Red Raiders. I did find 3 instances where they were held under 30. 26-24-29 against Wachusett, and Wachusett. Because Wachusett is quite a powerhouse. In fact, they had a perfect regular season last year. That's how good they were. Mia Cavins, right wing 3-ball, rattles home. Cavins up to 4 on the night. Red Raiders lead 10-6. Taking that all the way, the Blue Devils answer right back with a 2 of their own to make it a 10-8 contest. Scored it right as I was looking away, of course. 3-ball from the left side by Graham, that doesn't go. Quickly in transition, Blue Devils get called for a double dribble there. Kylie Cudahy trying to get to the right side of the paint, try to find some space to put it up. Called for the dribbling infraction. That won't help matters. So 2:40 to go in the first quarter of play, 10-8. The Red Raiders in front. Council try the 3-ball, but that's badly offline. Turns into an unconventional pass, to say the least. Jen Allen can't put it up and in. Now Nevard making her moves through the paint. Finds the space and gets the basket. Tie it up at 10. 4 quick points for Leominster to equalize. Council loses a handle on it. Ball goes on the floor. Gets her hands on it at the last second to force the tie-up. So once again, the possession arrow shifts, and Leominster will have the basketball with 2:04 to go in the first quarter. Brought across midcourt, and trying to take it with a burst of speed were the Blue Devils. That was Shannon Smith. She lost a handle on it. Council 3-ball no good, and Smith will pull down that board. Making her way up the far side of the court. Gets the pass off, long 2 is offline. Had the distance, but not the accuracy. Offensive rebound taken in by McDonald. Floated up there, nothing going. And the ball pinballs out of bounds, last off a Red Raider. Mia Cavins will come to the bench. Ilka Negron will come in. And another substitution. Out goes Kylie Cudahy, and in goes Sabina Marwa. So we mentioned Marwa is the leading scorer on this team right now with 6.6 a game. As the scoring is very well distributed among the players for Leominster. They had no idea how much time was left on the shot clock. The shot clock violation will force another turnover. The one shot they got on that possession never did touch the rim. They never lost possession, so the shot clock never reset. And they were playing a 20-second offensive strategy, basically, with only 14 to work with. Shot from Graham is wild. Over the basket it goes. Pass up for Smith. Throws it back to the left side, Pompey. McDonald trying to find room to work, but surrounded by Red Raiders. She draws contact from somebody. Just the second foul against the Red Raiders. That'll go against Graham. First free throw is good. Jen Allen will come back in for Graham. McDonald with 4 free throws made on the season coming into tonight. The Blue Devils have acknowledged that's one of their weaknesses. Second free throw good as well, though. They're 3 or 4 at the line tonight, so it's not going that badly for them. And they lead 12-10 with 53.2 to go in the first quarter. So Olivia Smith into the paint. Annika Hecker throwing it up, but not getting it to fall. Offensive rebound leads to a fresh 30 for the Red Raiders to work with. Hecker in the paint trying to create space. Puts another shot up, but a bit offline. And stumbling to the ground after being contacted there was Pompey, and the foul will go against the Red Raiders. Hecker called for her first foul of the contest with 31 seconds to go in the frame. Leominster will try to build on this lead. The largest of the night is just 2. Pass to the right side corner. And around to the top. Around through Tressaloni. We'll come back up top to Pompey. Shot clock and game clock about within a second of each other. And Marwa able to get that shot up and in. Now a wild shot at the buzzer is well long. Leominster absolutely must be happy with how that quarter went. An 8-0 run to close the frame gives them a 4-point lead, 14-10 through 1 quarter of play. So the Blue Devils, who got quite the wake-up call on Monday as they just struggled to get going against the Red Raider defense. Now they've had a few days to think about it, a few days to read into the strategies that Paul DiGeronimo and his team have. And they've been performing a bit better here. 14 points in the first quarter compared to just the 18 they got in 32 minutes on Monday. We look at Leominster's results this season. Narragansett they opened with. Won that game 39-33 in Baldwinville. Then at home, a much more dominant performance, 50-27. Then they took on Gardner last week, and Gardner probably the weakest team in the pod. That's who the Red Raiders will have next week. And both of those wins pretty decisive for Leominster. 52-17 in the first one, 44-12 in the other game at Gardner. And then, of course, as we've mentioned, the game on Monday, where things just did not go well at all for Leominster. Marwa and Smith each led the way with just 4 points. Tressaloni, Boulay, Nivard, Cudahy, and Pompey each had 2. And that adds up to the 18 they had. But Leominster obviously coming into this game with a different mindset. So now they know they're not going to run the table in the pod, but at the very least, they know they can't just come into every game knowing, thinking that the result is assured. They know they have to work for it over the course of those 32 minutes every game. So the loss may have been a wake-up call in a sense that will help this team play a lot better. Leominster had the arrow at the end of the first, so they'll start with the ball here in the second. It's Marwa passing back and forth with Nivard. Nivard getting to the key and drawing contact. Just like that, that's the fourth foul against the Red Raiders, the second against Olivia Smith. Each team with 2 fouls to give for the rest of the half. Got a Nivard now for Marwa. Back for Nivard, around to the far side. Smith. Nivard with some space to shoot, gets the shot off from just inside the arc. Won't go for her, a bit too strong. As Council, now Smith. Now the right side, Jen Allen off the window and in. Breaks up a scoring drought for the Red Raiders to cut the deficit, in the steal there by Cavins. Cavins thinking about the three to try to put her team in front. Pass it around, Council in the paint. Contact against the Blue Devils. First foul of the game against Marwa. Pompey will come out of the contest. Council. Hold it at the top of the key. Pass up to the left side. Allen finding some space, getting the jumper to go from the left elbow to tie the score. Four quick points for the Red Raiders. A little over a minute gone in the second quarter. We're tied again at 14. Marwa on the left side, found some space, goes to the baseline. Didn't put enough height on the shot. The ball will go out of bounds, last off a Blue Devil. Olivia Smith will carry it up across the middle of the court. Checking up in front of the circle, finds Cavins. Now Council on the right side for Smith. To the baseline, double team, drops it off. Allen off the window, that'll rattle home. She's got 6 in this quarter alone. And it restores the Red Raider lead at 16-14. Nivard trying to take it all the way, she'll do just that. Ties the score up at 16. Allen's got the hot hand. She'll try again, but ultimately couldn't get that one to go. And Marwa will carry it up, one of 5 freshmen on this Blue Devil squad. Annika Hecker, a freshman on the Red Raider side, making things difficult. The ball forced away, but a travel immediately after possession gained by the Red Raiders will give it right back to the Blue Devils. 5:39 to go in the first half, 16 all the score. Now the Red Raiders have been charged with a technical foul of their own. And Sabina Marwa selected to take the free throws. First one won't go. Marwa leading the team with free throws made on the season with 7. The Blue Devils averaging just over 4 free throws made a game. Does not make either of them. So the Red Raiders' bad deed will go unpunished. Blue Devils will inbound from the midline with 5:39 to go in the first half. Score is 16 all. Quick take on the right side, and thrown up and in to restore the lead. So that was Taylor Boulay getting the 2 there. As Council will hold outside the arc. Backing up, trying to create a little bit of space there. She's battling there with Kylie Cudahy. Ball on the floor, contested for, and ultimately will stay with the Red Raiders with 7 to shoot. And the Red Raiders coaching staff trying to let their players know how much time they have to work with. We've already seen a shot clock violation with the team forgetting how much time was on the shot clock. And the foul called there, the electronic whistle didn't activate on the first touch. Official had his arm in the air immediately on the contact, but for some reason the whistle just would not activate. So they played on for a second more, but that was for naught. The foul will go against Nevard. That's her 3rd. It's the first free throw for Tenaya Council will not go. Red Raiders entitled to have 2 players on either side of the paint, 1 on each. They're asked, do you want to have a second player on there? They've decided they will. That one rattles for a while, but eventually falls. 18-17 the score. Under 5 to go in the half. It's Marwa with the pass off, gets it back, right side of the paint. Jumper is well offline. Marwa gets a hold of it and forces a tie up. It'll be Red Raider ball on the arrow. That Marwa will take a breather. Looks like Pompey comes back in. She'll get some hand sanitizer. As Council bringing it across. Left side 3 ball is short. Try to get her own rebound. Just couldn't get it cleanly enough. It was Brito with the shot. He couldn't get that to fall. And another substitution as Olivia Smith comes back in. 4:30 to go in the first half of play. 18 for the Blue Devils, 17 for the Red Raiders. Passes on the left side of the paint. Leads to a shot by Pompey that does not go. Brought across by Council. Holding on the right side, Smith. Pass pulled down by Graham, and she's called for the travel. So she'll check out, and Annika Hecker will come back into the game. Reach the halfway point of this second quarter as Boulay bounce pass for a 3 ball. That's good. I think that was Pompey sinking that one. 21-17. The Blue Devils in front. Cavins trying to take it all the way. And the blocking foul is going to be called there against Forsberg. So Cavins back at the line. But the first free throw won't go. 4th trip to the line tonight for the Red Raiders. Each of them have gone 1 of 2. One more for Cavins. And of course, because I said each of them had gone 1 of 2, that one surely could not have. So it remains a 4-point lead for the Blue Devils. As Kylie Cudahy will get it back after the pass, try to take it to the rack, doesn't get it to go. Second chance won't go either. And Annika Hecker will come up with it. Council on the left side, across for Smith. Now back for Council. Holding next to the circle. Left side floated in for Allen, had trouble holding the pass. Come back around for Council, 7 on the shot clock. Thrown up there for 3, misses the rim from Cavins. And Leominster will bring it down court. Floated to the paint, McDonald turning around, throwing it up, in and out it goes. Ball on the ground. Blue Devils pick it right up, take the shot immediately from that spot and hit it. Kylie Cudahy getting the triple there. Largest lead of the night for either team, 24-17. Council trying to answer back with a 3 like that, but will not go. Cudahy will try it again from that spot. Ball on the other side of the court, that time a bit short. Council with the board. Brought up for Smith. Back for Council. Going into the paint. First shot was blocked. Jen Allen will throw it high off the window and in. 8th point of the quarter for the sophomore. 24-19 the score. And Leominster will call a timeout. With 1:55 to go in the first half, the Red Raiders trail 24-19. Have a look at Pod 6 standings, featuring all these teams in Central Mass, North Central Mass. Fitchburg at 4-1 coming into tonight. Leominster at 4-1 coming into tonight. Fitchburg has won both of their games here at the Crutchfield Fieldhouse. Leominster has won both their games away from the gym at Leominster High School. Quabbin is 3-1, having won all 3 of their games thus far in Barrie, but losing their 1 road game. Narragansett's 2-3. Oakmont is 1-4, and Gardner is 0-4. And as we mentioned, Fitchburg will be playing Gardner next week. On Monday, February 1st, the boys will be here, 4 o'clock JV game, 6 o'clock varsity. And next Thursday, the girls will be playing the Wildcats, 5:30 start for the varsity squad here at the Crutchfield Fieldhouse. We'll have those games for you here on FATV. Then Narragansett week is the last week of the season. If only Leominster was finishing with Oakmont instead of finishing with Quabbin, then you could actually say that the schedules for Fitchburg and Leominster were mirror images of each other. Because Fitchburg ends with Narragansett. Leominster started with Narragansett. Then before that for Fitchburg is Gardner. After Narragansett was Gardner for Leominster. Feels like it made perfect sense to put rivalry week right in the middle of this abbreviated 5-week season. Of course, it also helped that the boys hockey teams played each other on Saturday, so to make it a really true rivalry week, get boys basketball, girls basketball, and ice hockey all handled in there. In that 5-day stretch. Or 6-day stretch, something of that nature. Tressaloni around for Boulay now to the far side. Leominster having trouble getting that in. Fitchburg really trying to shut down that side of the baseline. Chloe Tressaloni will inbound again. Throw it in for Taylor Boulay. Annika Hecker ultimately knocking it out of bounds on the pass intended for Shannon Smith. Shot clock down to 15 seconds. 100 ticks to go in the first half of play. Try it again. Miss Boulay out for Pompey now. On the near side, Tressaloni, and now Pompey with the triple. Catches the bomb of the twine, but doesn't go through the rim. And Council comes up with the board. Grown with the jumper. Can't get that to go. Pompey carrying it up. A pass up to the far side. Floated up, but over the rim. Right into the hands of Ilka Negron. Now under a minute to go in the first half of play. 24-19. Allen kicking out left side. Council, right side of the paint. Throws it up, off the square and in. Tenila Council will make it 24-21. Pass knocked out of bounds in front of the Red Raider bench. Last off a Red Raider, they'll rule. Boulay will come out of the game. The officials are going to talk. Was that really the case? Looks like it was. Explain it to Paul DiGeronimo. Cudahy came back in a moment ago. And one other substitution for Leominster. Pompey on the left wing. Round on the right side. Marwa leaving it off now into the corner. Running right side baseline. Tressaloni will open there. Shot is far too strong and lands right in the hands of a waiting Hecker. Council for Negron. Looking for somewhere to go. Finds Olivia Smith at the top of the key. Smith trying to draw contact there. She's done just that. So free throws to be awarded here. As Chloe Tressaloni called for her first foul of the contest. First free throw rattles in and out for Olivia Smith. Raiders need to improve the free throw shooting here. They'll do that with the second there. Because that's 4 makes to 6 misses, 40%. Blue Devils 3 of 6 at the charity stripe tonight. Score now 24-22. The steal there. The pass couldn't be handled. Brito with the pick trying to feed Negron. Now 2.2 to work with. And they'll have to settle for a 50-footer. A lot closer than you'd expect. As Nivard puts it off the glass, off the front rim and out. That brings us to halftime. Here at the Crutchfield Fieldhouse, the score Fitchburg 22 and Leominster 24. Go over the leading scores, but on both teams I've missed a couple baskets. Just a matter of looking away at the wrong time. So I can tell you the scores that I've got right now, but they're not going to add up. I can tell you that right in advance. Tenila Council's got 3, Olivia Smith 7, Jen Allen 8, and Mia Cavins 4. Actually, that did add up to 22 for Fitchburg. Might have just given a point there that I'm not sure if it went to the right player or not, but I can tell you for sure Leominster's don't add up. I've got 5 for Juliana Pompey, 2 for Ava McDonald, 3 for Kylie Cudahy, 5 for Isabella Nivard, 2 for Taylor Boulay, and 2 for Sabina Marwa. That only adds up to 19, so what I think I did was I absent-mindedly put down a 2 for a basket for Olivia Smith. And here's hoping that one was the right one. For Leominster, though, I missed 2 baskets, so those aren't going to add up. So any scores that I say for Leominster are going to be very much incomplete. But Leominster obviously playing a lot better than they did on Monday night. I mean, 24 points at halftime compared to they had 10 at halftime on Monday night. obviously the challenge was just trying to play this Fitchburg team. It could very well have been a case, too, of you're playing two teams in an Narragansett and a Gardner who aren't up to the level of the teams that I think the Blue Devils are usually used to facing. So I think after a few games of playing those teams, they come and host Fitchburg, and they weren't used to the way that Fitchburg played. And you settle sort of into routines that you expect to work against teams that I guess were lesser competition, but then when you're playing that stronger team, suddenly those routines, those strategies don't quite work. And that's how you get caught out like you did on Monday. But it does seem in these home-and-home series, the second game never quite goes the same way as the first. You look at how Fitchburg beat Oakmont 51-44 in the first game, then the second one, Fitchburg was able to make the adjustments against Oakmont and win 38-19. Then again, they beat Quabbin 57-45 here at the Fieldhouse, and then when they go to Barrie, they're held to 33, their season low offensively. That was the difference, is they played more or less the same managing Quabbin's offense than they did the first game, just couldn't score as many points. And Leominster, they sort of went through the same thing. They only beat Narragansett by 6 in the first meeting, but the second meeting, they won handedly by 23. There are definitely examples I can take from the boys basketball team as well. I know the second game the Red Raiders played against Oakmont went way better than the first. And that was the same case for basketball as well. As the boys lost by, I think, 10 against Quabbin when they played them in Barrie, but then won by 17 here at the Fieldhouse last week. Also, that boys basketball game should be happening in Leominster now as we speak. The boys won by 9 in the meeting here on Monday here at the Fieldhouse. How will that go in the second game down at the gym at Leominster High School? Based on how these games have been going, I can't imagine it'll go the same way as the first. This Nevard shot won't go. And a tie-up ruled. Out a lot of held balls in this contest. So the Red Raiders' first possession lead to a ball on the floor, and it'll end just like the Blue Devils' first possession with a tie-up. (14-10) was the score after 1 quarter of play. The second quarter was 12-10 in favor of Fitchburg, that first quarter in Leominster's favor, leading to just that 2-point margin, 24-22, the Blue Devils in front. Nevard onto the right side, Kara Forsberg. Now back for Nevard, and can't handle that last pass. Didn't see a whole lot of Nevard across the second quarter, mainly because she was on 3 fouls. She still is, but she was too. Cavins on the right side. Quick passing by the Red Raiders. Trying to make the Blue Devil defense work. And that pass is going to go into the backcourt. It was not tipped. That's an over or back. Council had trouble corralling that one and then throwing it into the backcourt. Was looking for Olivia Smith, but the pass offline, a bit rushed after that brief panic. Comes back to the Blue Devils, who lose it thanks to the efforts of Mia Cavins getting her hands up. Hear one of the coaches yelling during that last possession for Fitchburg, get your hands up, try to disrupt those passing lanes. Obviously your arms will tire after a little bit, but the effort is worth the reward, like that steal right there. First effort doesn't go for Leominster, second chance doesn't go either. They'll have a third though, as pulling it out is Forsberg. Throw it around. And Evard with the shot doesn't go either. Ball's going to make its way to the table on the near side. And it was last off a player clad in blue. So it'll go Red Raider basketball. Nearly 2 minutes gone in this third quarter. We've had no scoring in this frame. as Smith. Bring it up on the left side for Cavins. Now Council. Now on the right side, Jen Allen, 8 second quarter points. Really led the charge. And Council able to draw a foul. Boulay called for her first. It'll be a fresh 30 for the Red Raiders to work with. Council will take the inbound. On the far side, gotta float that pass in because of the hands. Council thought about the three, didn't like the advancing defense of Boulay. Shot ends up going short. And the ball out of bounds will be last off a Blue Devil. So 16 on the shot clock, 5:31 in the third quarter. Both teams looking for their first points of the frame. 24-22, Leominster in front. As Smith off for Cavins. Shot clock to 5. Olivia Smith, Allen, with 2 on the shot clock, draws contact. And a reward will be free throws with a chance to tie the game. First free throw for Allen is well off the mark. As we mentioned, the Red Raiders struggling with free throws in the first half of play. They'll get that second one to go. 9 points for Allen on the contest. That's the first point of this second half. The deficit now at 1. As Cavins was trying to get the ball there. Ends up grabbing the jersey of the player instead. Actually called the foul against Nevaeh Graham instead. Be her second. As Forsberg on the right side, they're not letting her get in a position to shoot threes. And that pass for Nevard on the left side, way too high into the Leominster bench. Red Raider basketball will be about 3 minutes gone in this third quarter of play. Council holding on the left side, creating some space for Smith. On the right side, back for Council. 3 ball is short out of the hands of Olivia Smith. Brought up by Negron, looking for Forsberg, didn't like the look. Finds Pompey, free throw line jumper, no good. Second chance, over the rim it goes for Ava McDonald. Still a 1-point lead for Leominster. That's going to be contact instead of a tie-up. That'd be foul number 4 against Isabella Nevard. It's not good news for her. She'll have to come out of the game just to be protected. Still a bunch of basketball to play here. Not a great sign when one of your more dynamic players is on 4 fouls. The Red Raiders working with a fresh shot clock. Denila Council. Now Smith, Hecker, back for Council. Now she's got it now. She got the feed from Negron, brought that all the way in, threw up, didn't get it to fall. Tried to save that from going out of bounds, but the ball just touches the baseline. And we'll have a timeout. We reach the halfway point of this third quarter play, and these two teams really struggling to get the wheels going again. Just a single free throw is all we've had in this third quarter, with the score at Leominster 24 and Fitchburg 23. As we mentioned before, both these teams with a lot of youth on the roster. Mia Cavan's the only senior in today's game. Then between them, 7 juniors, 5 sophomores, and 11 freshmen. Makes up the 24 players between the 2 varsity squads. And the Red Raiders, even with all that youth, were able to return a bunch of players from last year. 7 in all made game appearances last year for the Red and Gray, compared to just 3 for Leominster. Chloe Tressaloni made 3 appearances last year. Kylie Cudahy scored 7 points last year across 9 games. And Isabella Nevard, really the veteran on this team, even though she's just a sophomore. She played in 15 games last year, averaged 6.4 a game. That was 4th on the team. She was in the top 5 in all the counting stats, basically. But right now, out of the game with 4 fouls. We'll almost certainly see her again later. They can't risk using her right now. It's the shot from the right side of the baseline, a bit too strong. Out of the hands of Kylie Cudahy. And the Red Raiders smartly let the ball bounce out of bounds. So Council bringing it up, leaving it off for Smith. Into the paint, threw it up, looking for contact, got it. And 2 free throws awarded on the first foul committed by Shannon Smith. Smith fouling Smith, how about that? First free throw for Olivia Smith is good. And that's going to tie the game at 24. Still looking for our first field goal in this 3rd quarter. Just 2 free throws for the Red Raiders, all the scoring in this frame. Smith about to try to make it 3 free throws to give her team the lead, but can't get it. McDonald with the board. Yet to see a perfect trip at the line for either team in this contest. Well, that's not true at all. Even McDonald had one. There's a 3 ball that's just a bit long. It's the very last name I looked at. I was so sure that stat was going to be right until I saw it, and then nope. Council trying to take that all the way. She does that. And the Red Raiders lead 26-24. Blue Devils get through the press. And then an unforced error. That pass can't be cleanly handled. It was Forsberg trying to feed Kylie Cudahy in the right side corner. Couldn't play the bounce properly. Fumbled it off her hands and out of bounds. I find it interesting how that basketball rolled away, so they just go and grab a new one instead, sort of like soccer. It's so different how we have 4 basketballs in rotation this year, as opposed to just using the same ball the whole game, but that's one of those COVID changes. This ball goes out of bounds, last off the hands of a Red Raider. 2:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. 26-24, the Red Raiders lead. 4-0 they lead in this quarter as well, as a tie-up ruled on that. Sabina Marwa loses her footing, goes to the ground, and a Red Raider had her hands on the basketball as well as that was all happening. Just call the tie-up straight away. Council for Smith. Now top for Cavins on the right side. Taken in by Council. Drops it off. Smith trying to get through 2 defenders. Has trouble with that. Ball recovered there by Negron. Lots of pressure in the paint. That time Council did not get the contact required for a foul call. So the ball goes right out of bounds and back to the Blue Devils. Two minutes to go in the third quarter. Turnaround three ball high off the glass and offline. Jen Allen with the board. And Council lost her footing for a moment. Slipped on the hardwood, but kept her dribble going. Leaves it off to Cavins, now gets it back. Refreshed dribble. Draws the contact that time, and she'll get the free throws that she was looking for. Rusty Frederick absolutely not happy with that call. And two free throws for the sophomore. First free throw good for Council. Up to 6 by my count. One more free throw on its way. And that goes as well. That's the first perfect trip at the line tonight for the Red Raiders. And they lead 28-24. They've restored that two-possession lead. Actually on an 11-0 run going back to the end of the second quarter. At one point, the Blue Devils led by 7, but now the Red Raiders lead by 5. That score hasn't changed in quite a while for Leominster. Probably well over a quarter's time. As Marwa into the paint, that's a tie-up. The arrow favors Leominster. So they'll get an inbound. Shot clock stays where it is at 9 seconds. Moved out to the left side, Smith, now Boulay. 3 on the shot clock. Do they know how much time's on it? They don't. Got the shot off in time though, just barely. That's the importance of remembering that a tie-up does not lead to a shot clock reset automatically. As Cavins leaves it for Smith, skips it to Allen. Now a 3 ball as well offline, turns into a pass. Graham trying to force one up, drew the contact. And it'll be 2 free throws for the junior. That'll be the second foul against Sabina Marwa. So 2 free throws for Nevaeh Graham. First free throw is short. You're wondering how to spell Nevaeh? Take the word heaven and spell it backwards. The junior wearing number 35, sister of Montgomery from the boys basketball team. Second free throw is good. That'll open her scoring account. Make it 29-24. With 45 seconds to go in the frame. And after how much the Red Raiders struggled at times during the first quarter, wouldn't it be something if they were able to hold the Blue Devils completely off the board in this one? False start on the inbound. As the Blue Devils wanted to make a substitution, they'll be allowed to make it. 14 in the first for Leominster, 10 in the second. But they're still sitting on a goose egg in this frame. See how much time the Red Raiders want to take off the clock here. 6-second difference between game and shot. It's Hecker for Negron, back for Hecker. Moving it around, Graham throwing it up, 3 ball, just a bit too long. High off the rim, pulled in by Cudahy. Having trouble with it. They're gonna call the contact there, preventing her from getting across the midline. Negron whistled for her first, just the second foul against the Red Raiders in this quarter. And although they've only put up 7 points in the frame, they have to be happy with the defensive effort. Just moving it around the perimeter, looking for a space to shoot. They call a foul at the buzzer, but that's not going to matter. The Blue Devils can't get a shot off, and they are held completely off the board in the third quarter. The Red Raiders take a 29-24 lead into three-quarter time. It doesn't happen too often that you can go 8 minutes in a contest while, well, it's been longer than 8 minutes since the Blue Devils have had points, but it's not often that you see a quarter in which a team is completely shut out. I know for myself personally, it's not the first time I've seen it. I can remember one instance off the top of my head, and coincidentally enough, it involved this Leominster team. They were the ones shutting out a team. That was Oakmont a few years ago, up in Ashburnham. That was a game I called on the radio. I believe that was a 39-25 victory for Leominster in a game in which I want to say Oakmont had 13 points in the first quarter, and then, well, the wheels fell off after that. Second quarter, they had nothing, and then couldn't really manage a whole lot the rest of the way. And this Leominster team, I saw this with the boys as well, but one thing I've always been impressed about is just their ability to be able to reload every year. It seems like so many times they'll come in with a bunch of upperclassmen on their rosters who will inevitably graduate, but then you have to bring in new players to replace them. And have those new players try to take charge, usually, and quite often upperclassmen as well, with a mix of a couple underclassmen. But this year for Leominster, it's almost all underclassmen, just 3 juniors for the Blue Devils in Chloe Tressaloni, Laura Young, and Ava McDonald. And as we mentioned, Tressaloni, she played a little bit last year. But McDonald didn't make any appearances last year for the Blue Devils. Neither did Young. So juniors in the sense of class, but not so much in terms of experience. It is a very, very young Leominster team, but they're probably pretty happy. You know, they're 4-1 at the halfway point of this pod. And everyone expected to come back next year. Helps matters a lot as well. And for the Red Raiders, they were able to bring back a lot of players. Just a team that's gotten so much better as time has gone on, especially last year where they started 1-9, then went 6-4 down the stretch. It was a tale of two halves. And then go back to the midway point of last season. The Red Raiders, 10-5 over their last 15. This team's really come into their own late last year, and they've been able to carry it into this season. That one can't climb the ladder well enough. Second chance doesn't go either. Contested for on the floor, and the tie-up goes to the Blue Devils. Leominster absolutely not out of this game, though. They probably haven't scored a basket in over 10 minutes now. As the Red Raiders on a 12-0 run. 29-24 the score, Fitchburg in front. I can tell you though, that was one of the lowest scoring quarters I've seen in a while in just 7 points. And all for Fitchburg. 10 on the shot clock, pass inside, Boulay can't cleanly handle it, knocked out of her hands by a Red Raider. Blue Devils will get the inbound. This is the point where everyone on the bench should be making it clear you only have 7 seconds to work with. And Boulay gets a shot off in 3 of them, but it goes in and out. And trying to dance on the sideline, keep the ball in bounds while staying in bounds herself was Cudahy. Wasn't able to achieve that goal. I think her foot stepped on the sideline there. So Red Raider basketball up by 5. Council on the left wing. Drops it off for Smith. Now Cavins. Passing for Graham. Turnaround jumper, no. but Allen's going to get that one, and she draws the contact. That's the 7th foul against Leominster. Second against Juliana Pompey. First free throw for Allen is good. The Red Raiders will continue their run. Now 13 in a row for the Red and Gray. Allen to try to make it 14. She gets that one as well. She's up to 11 on the night. And it's 31-24. So the first points of the fourth quarter. 3-ball right side is way too long. And right into the awaiting arms of Mia Cavins. Council saw some space to work with. Gets the pass for Olivia Smith. Battling with Kyra Forsberg. Smith gets around her and then picked up her dribble and then moved her pivot foot. Forsberg doing well on the defense there and forcing the turnover. 6:23 to go in the contest. 7-point lead for the Red Raiders. Largest lead of the night for the Red and Gray. And that was well picked there by Council. Had to go well out of bounds to run that down. There are some buildings. She tried to do that in Leominster during normal time. She would have been up into the second row. Her momentum carrying her that far out of bounds. Went and checked on one of the Blue Devils, trying to make sure she's okay. But ultimately, I don't think anyone was expecting that to result from Council's effort there. But able to get the basketball through her legs back into play without stepping out of bounds. And the tie-up awards the ball to the Red Raiders. That's what you love to see, and unfortunately the Raiders not able to do anything with it. The wild pass leads to their second over and back of the night. Two minutes gone in the fourth quarter. Red Raiders lead 31-24. Allen leads the Raiders with 11. Smith with 8. Blue Devils still trying to snap the scoring funk they've been in for what anyone rooting for a team in blue would say is far too long. 3-ball a bit too long, and the rebound tried to throw it back out to Forsberg, who I don't have us having any points tonight. 3-ball shooting has been cold for her. Traveling called against the Red Raiders. So a fresh possession for the Blue Devils to work with in search of any points. The Raiders have been focusing primarily on defense and making sure no possession is easy for this Blue Devils side, and no possession has been easy for this Blue Devils side. Still looking for their first points of the half. Not coming on that shot either. Gavin's coming up with the board. They've been stuck on 24 for oh so long. Cavin's 3-ball is nothing but air. Trying to get the shot up quickly there with the incoming pressure. And Forsberg will check out. We've got Smith coming back in for the Blue Devils. And Smith, pass up on the left side. And around to the right. Smith gets it there. They'll rule contact by Graham, forcing her out of bounds. Third foul against Nevaeh Graham. Also the third foul against Fitchburg in this half. They still have 3 to give with 4:38 to go. That one a bit too strong there, and another tie-up. Leominster will retain. Trying to force that shot through the left side of the baseline there. There might be a point where Leominster's trying to force things just because they're more and more aware of the fact that they've gone so long without a basket. It's a tremendously long scoring drought. But they're going to have a prime chance to end it now, as the shooting foul is called there. On the whack by Olivia Smith. And the first free throw offline out of the hands of Isabella Nevard. One of the things that hasn't been helping either for the Blue Devils is that Nevard has not played a whole lot of this second half, as she's been in foul trouble for much of the contest. But she's definitely one of their spark plugs. And she misses both free throws, gets the rebound. That doesn't go either, nor does that. And another tie-up. I thought for sure Leominster was going to break that scoring funk right there. But Nevard comes up empty at the charity stripe. 4:15 to go in the game. The Red Raiders 31, the Blue Devils 24. And there's a steal. Surely this will end the drought now, right? No. But now, taken back, thrown over the basket. Leominster just cannot put it in that hoop. They have not done so in this contest. They have not put a single ball through that hoop since we started playing basketball. Another tie-up. We'll give the ball back to the Blue Devils on the arrow. I know last week, Fitchburg, the boys against Quabbin, they couldn't score for almost all of that period, and now they finally have that too there from the hands of Taylor Boulay. And immediately a timeout with 3:43 to go. A scoring drought of probably around 14-15 minutes finally comes to an end for Leominster, and they finally have their first points of the second half. The deficit cut to 5, 31-26, as that breaks a streak of 14 points in a row for the Red Raiders. That timeout really coming at the right time, as we're really getting into crunch time in this contest. Looking at the leading scores from my count, got 11 for Jen Allen, 8 for Olivia Smith, 7 for Tenila Council. Mia Cavan's on 4. Nevaeh Graham's got 1. Hopefully that adds up to 31 for the Red Raiders. I wasn't keeping track. For the Blue Devils, 5 for Juliana Pompey, 5 for Isabella Nevard, 4 for Taylor Boulay, 2 for Ava McDonald, 3 for Kylie Cudahy, and 2 for Sabina Marwa, and there's 5 points missing there. As is what happens when you're trying to make a note in your stat sheet and you miss a shot. We're all happy to have you along with us here on FATV tonight, whether you're watching on Comcast, Verizon, FATV.org, or on your internet device, your Apple TV, or your Roku, or your Fire Stick. We're happy to have you along, whatever method you're using to join us tonight, whether you're a Red Raider fan or a Blue Devil fan. A close contest down the stretch here, 3:25 to go, 31-26. Red Raiders in front. Hecker harassed there. Ava McDonald with strong pressure. Won't let Hecker get a clean shot off. Now the Blue Devils try to make it one possession. They'll have a chance at the charity stripe as the contact drawn by the sophomore captain, Isabella Nevard. Nevard with 2 free throws. The first one caught absolutely nothing. And Nevard has been snake bit at the charity stripe tonight. She's attempted 5 free throws, she's made 1. At least to try to cut the deficit to 4. She'll do that. Nevard up to at least 6 on the contest. And the Raiders on the other end draw contact. It'll be Olivia Smith returning to the line. On Ava McDonald's first foul of the night. 2 free throws for the junior wearing number 11 in silver. The first one is good. One more free throw coming here. Try to stretch it out to a full 2-possession lead. The second one is good. 2 perfect free throws, gets her to 10 on the night. And it's 33-27, under 3 to go. The Blue Devils called for carrying there. A surprising turnover. Cavins off for Allen, bounce pass underneath. Graham throws it up and in. It's first field goal of the night for Nevaeh Graham. Gets her to 3, 35-27. 2:35 to go. And try a 3 there, the line drive is short. Pompey trying to get her own board, able to push it out and allow her team to recover the ball. The bounce pass from Pompey mishandled, ball on the floor. And the last touch was by a Blue Devil. As McDonald's battling with Cavins down in the corner. That ball up for grabs, and ultimately it goes in favor of the red and gray with 2:21 to go in the contest. Council will carry it up. Silver number 4 with a pass to the right wing. Smith, now for Council. Now Cavins, back for Smith, switching spots. Now Cavins on the near side for Council. Moving her way around the half. Draining the shot clock. Will have to take a long shot from NBA range. 3 ball, catches the rim. That's going to be an offensive rebound for Nevaeh Graham. Red Raider defense taking advantage of Leominster moving a bit slowly on the shot. I don't think they expected it to catch the rim. And it's a fresh 30 and more precious seconds running off the clock. Council taking it all the way, can't get it to fall, and we're gonna have another tie-up. The arrow favors Fitchburg. As Leominster will make another substitution. Switch out McDonald for Marwa. But what I was really expecting there was a timeout, and that's what we're gonna get with 1:27 to go. And that's a successful run of play for Fitchburg. Even if they don't score any points on that, they got about 50 seconds off the clock and able to get that tie up to retain possession. And so the Red Raiders will be set to inbound again with 87 seconds left, up by 8 points. This game has been very interesting, to say the least. Leominster trying to show in the first quarter that they weren't the team that the Red Raiders saw on Monday night, scoring 14 of the 24 points in the frame. And the Blue Devils, they had command of this game for a little while, had a 24-17 lead, but then the shooting just went cold. And they were stuck on 24 for so long. And although the Red Raiders had trouble getting the gears going themselves, their scoring pace slowed down a little bit, but they were still able to get 14 in a row over a span of what was probably about 14 minutes before the Blue Devils could finally answer. The score in this quarter hasn't been very high either. In the last quarter was 7-0 in favor of the Red Raiders. In this fourth, it's 6-3, still in favor of the Red Raiders. Fitchburg able to drain a lot of time on this trip down court. Blue Devils at least working to make the Red Raiders use almost all of the 5 seconds to get it in, and ultimately enough pressure there, able to force the turnover. Now Shannon Smith, who was there to help prevent that ball from being cleanly recovered. Now the Blue Devils down by 8. We're up on the left side for Marwa. 3 ball is well short. Leominster's got a couple of players who can shoot the threes, who like shooting the threes. They've only made 17 this season from 5 games. And they usually look to Kyra Forsberg, who's got 7 of them. As Marwa tries a 3, and that's a bit long. The Blue Devils know they need points and fast. 60 seconds left, that shot short. It'll be very interesting to see what will ultimately be the scoring statistics. How many shots did the Blue Devils take in this second half? How many did they make? How many did they take? How many did they miss, really? Another tie-up. That'll be Leominster ball. So they made a free throw in this half, and they made 1 field goal. But one for what feels like forever for the Blue Devils. 3 ball for Pompey, no. Offensive rebound thrown up by Cudahy, can't get that to go either. Graham with the board and pressured immensely, draws the foul. I think it was Cavins actually. That was foul number 9 against Leominster, so it is a 1-and-1. Have we actually seen a 1-and-1 tonight? We didn't have a whole lot of fouls in the first half. Front half is no good. But Council able to get over there and get that ball. And even though the Red Raiders could not keep control of it, that's still 5 more seconds that the Blue Devils aren't getting back. So 20 seconds to work with, down by 8. It's a must-score possession, and really, they're having trouble getting themselves in a position to get a shot off. They cannot get a shot off without committing a traveling infraction. And so the Blue Devils will try to play the end game here and force a foul. They'll finally get that foul, but by the time that they get the whistle to blow, the clock reads 8.8. That was the 10th foul against Leominster, so nobody needs to go to the free throw line just yet. Tenila Council and Mia Cavins were ready to go there, but that's foul 10 against Leominster. So it's 2 shots for Nevaeh Graham, makes the first. But yeah, the story of this game is just going to be that seemingly endless scoring drought. As Graham makes both free throws. 5 seconds left, that pass stolen away, and that's going to do it. The Red Raiders sweep the Blue Devils in girls basketball with a 37-27 victory. And I'll say this, if you held a team to 3 points at a half, you played good basketball. Ultimately, a pretty low-scoring second half. One of the lowest-scoring second halves I've seen in a good long while. The Red Raiders with just 15 points in the second half. Not as high as you'd like, but you won't worry too much by only scoring 15 points in a half if you held your opposition to 3. And that's indeed what happened there. 10 in the first quarter for Fitchburg, 12 in the second, 7 in the third, and 8 in the fourth. 22 in the first half, 15 in the second half, totaling 37. For Leominster, 14 in the first quarter, 10 in the second for a first half total of 24, but then nothing in the third, 3 in the fourth for a second half total of 3, and a game total of 27. I was shocked to even see on Monday night when I got home and looked at Twitter and saw that the Red Raiders had won so decisively against Leominster on Monday night, 44-18. And during the second half, we saw a lot of how that happened, basically. We saw the Red Raiders playing that stifling defense that led to Leominster just being unable to manufacture anything offensively. And that defense is going to get them to 5-1 on the season. And that'll assure them their first 500 or better record in over a decade. Impressive, impressive performance by the Red Raiders tonight, defensively, to keep the Blue Devils at bay. And across these 2 games, they held the Blue Devils to just 42 points. To hold a team to 42 points across 64 minutes of basketball, that is impressive. So ultimately 37-27 the final. I want to thank our wonderful crew for helping bring this game to you. Travis Falk and Nate Glennie in the production room tonight. Matt Murdoka and Frank Gallo on the cameras. And our underwriters, Workers Credit Union, Rollstone Bank and Trust, UMass Memorial Health Alliance, Clinton Hospital, North End Subaru, Research Results, Unitil, Minuteman Press, Hub International, MART, Fitchburg State University, and the Sentinel and Enterprise. We thank them for all they do to help support our remote productions and make them all possible. The Red Raiders girls will be taking on Gardner next week, 5:30 on Monday at Gardner, and then back here a week from tonight at 5:30. The boys will be playing 4 and 6 on Monday night, JV at 4, varsity at 6. We hope you'll be able to join us for that as well. But our next broadcast on FATV will be Saturday afternoon as the Red Raiders of Fitchburg Monty Tech take on the Crusaders of Groton Dunstable in ice hockey. That should be a good matchup. Last time I checked, Groton Dunstable hasn't lost a game yet. Love to see how the Red Raiders can deal with that team and try to pull a winning record against those Division III teams. That'll be a 1:30 start from the Wallace Civic Center. We'll hope you'll be able to join us for that one as well. And so we'll also have the sights and sounds of the junior varsity game between these 2 squads, which will be abbreviated to just 16 minutes. And stick around for that if you so desire as well. But for here in the broadcast booth, we're going to sign off for now. So we thank you for tuning in here at FATV. For everyone here, we hope you enjoyed the broadcast. I'm Daniel Bolak saying thank you for tuning in. We hope to see you next time. And until then, so long from Fitchburg.